Every time I see you, I feel my heart race as though the world slows down around us. It's a feeling I can't explain, but one that takes over every inch of my being. You make everything seem surreal, like magic is real, and you're the reason why. When our eyes meet, I lose myself in you. It's as if all my thoughts disappear and only you exist. There's something about you that makes the world feel like it's on fire, and I can't look away, no matter how hard I try. Every time I see you, it's like a storm erupts inside me. My heart pounds, my thoughts scatter, and for a moment, nothing else matters but you. You have a way of making me forget everything else, and I wouldn't have it any other way. There's a fire inside of me that ignites every time I see you. It's not just love, it's something deeper, something more intense. Every time you're near, the world becomes a whirlwind, and I lose myself in your presence. You have this incredible ability to make everything else fade into the background. Every time I see you, it's as if the universe stops and lets me bask in your energy. And for that moment, I forget about everything else, even myself. I can't help but lose my mind every time I see you. It's not just your beauty, but the way you make me feel alive in ways I never knew were possible. Every moment with you is a moment I want to last forever. Every time I look at you, my thoughts go wild. There's something about your presence that awakens parts of me I didn't know existed. I can't control the way you make me feel, but I wouldn't dare try. When I see you, I lose track of time. It's like the whole world fades away, and all that's left is you and me. My mind starts racing, my heart beats faster, and in those moments, I can't help but wonder if this is what love is supposed to feel like. There's a magic that happens when I see you. It's like I'm transported to another world where nothing else matters but us. Every time our eyes meet, my heart skips a beat and I lose myself in the intensity of your gaze. Every time you walk into the room, I feel the world shift. It's as if all my thoughts align with the way my heart beats when I see you. The power of your presence is enough to make me forget everything else, and I can't help but be completely mesmerized. Your presence is like a magnetic force that pulls me in every time I see you. It's not something I can explain, but it's a feeling I can't resist. Every time you're near, I lose myself in the energy you exude. Every time I lay my eyes on you, something inside me stirs. It's as though I've been waiting for that moment my whole life, and when it finally comes, I lose myself in the beauty of it all. You're not just a person to me, you're an experience. When I see you, my mind goes blank, but my heart speaks louder than ever. It's as if everything else falls away and I'm left with the pure intensity of what I feel in that moment. Every glance from you sends waves through me. Every time I see you, it's as if the air around me changes. My heart beats in ways it never has before, and my mind races with all the things I wish I could say. But in your presence, words never seem to do justice to what I feel. The way you make me feel when I see you is beyond description. It's as if my soul recognizes you, and every time we connect, something deep inside me awakens. And for that brief moment, everything makes perfect sense. Every time I see you, my thoughts race uncontrollably. It's not just your smile or the way you carry yourself. It's the way you make me feel alive, excited, and caught up in a moment that feels too perfect to be real. Your presence is overwhelming. Every time I see you, I lose my composure. My mind forgets to think, and my heart forgets to beat at a normal pace. It's as though my entire being is in a constant state of anticipation when you're around. The moment I see you, everything changes. It's like stepping into a world where nothing else matters but the way your eyes meet mine. Every time I feel like I'm falling, and for once, I don't want to get back up. When I catch a glimpse of you, everything I thought I knew about the world disappears. There's something about you that makes time stand still, and in that stillness, I lose myself to the whirlwind of emotions you stir within me. Every time you walk into the room, I lose my thoughts and my mind. It's not just your beauty that captivates me, but the way you make me feel like I've found something I didn't know I was searching for. Seeing you feels like stepping into a dream. My heart races, my mind goes blank, and I'm consumed by the energy between us. I can't control the way you make me feel, and honestly, I don't want to. Every time I see you, I feel a rush of emotions that I can't quite put into words. It's as if I'm caught between wanting to pull you closer and being afraid of losing myself completely in the intensity of what I feel. You're a force of nature, and every time I see you, I'm swept away by the sheer power of your presence. It's as if every fiber of my being is in sync with the way my heart beats when you're near. I lose my damn mind every time I see you, not because of anything you've done, but because of everything you make me feel. There's something in your eyes that draws me in, and when I'm with you, nothing else matters. Every time I see you, I'm overwhelmed by a sense of wonder. It's as if I'm seeing the world for the first time through your eyes. You make everything seem new, and for that moment, I lose myself completely in your gaze. There's something intoxicating about the way you make me feel when I see you. It's not just love or attraction, it's an entire emotional experience that takes over my body and mind, and for that moment, you are all that exists. Every time I see you, I find myself falling deeper into the whirlwind of emotions you create. Your presence is a magnetic pull, and the closer I get to you, the more I lose myself in everything you are. Seeing you is like being struck by lightning. It's shocking, overwhelming, and leaves me breathless every single time. You have a way of making my heart race, my thoughts scatter, and my emotions spiral in every direction. When I see you, I lose track of reality. Everything around us fades into the background, and all that's left is the way my heart races when you're near. I can't help but be consumed by the way you make me feel. Every time I see you, I feel like I'm walking on air. The world becomes a blur, and the only thing that matters is the way you make me feel. My mind spins with the intensity of it all, and I can't help but want to be lost in it. There's an energy between us every time I see you, one that makes everything else seem irrelevant. You have a way of making me forget the world and lose myself in the connection we share. It's an experience I can't escape, nor do I want to. Every time I see you, it's like all the walls I've built around myself crumble. My heart opens up to you in a way it never has before, and in that moment, I lose myself in the vulnerability of it all. The effect you have on me when I see you is beyond explanation. It's like a deep pull that I can't resist, one that makes everything else fade away. I lose myself in the feelings you stir in me every single time. When I see you, I lose the ability to think clearly. My heart takes over, and suddenly, everything feels like it's happening in slow motion. I can't explain the way you make me feel, but I never want that feeling to end. Every time I see you, my mind goes wild. It's not just attraction, it's something deeper, something that consumes me and leaves me speechless. You have a way of making me forget everything except for you. When I see you, it's like I'm standing at the edge of something bigger than myself. My emotions are overwhelming, and I lose myself in the intensity of the connection we share. For that moment, it feels like the world is ours. Every time I see you, my heart races as though I've just run a marathon. Your presence excites me in ways I didn't know were possible, and I can't help but lose myself in the emotions you stir within me. You have this ability to make everything else fade away the moment I see you. My heart races, my mind spins, and I lose myself in the magic of what it feels like to be near you. Every time I see you, it's like I'm walking through a dream. My thoughts go fuzzy, and my heart beats in rhythm with the emotions you stir within me. There's no escape from the way you make me feel, and I wouldn't want it any other way. Seeing you is like finding a part of myself I didn't know was missing. Every time our eyes meet, something inside me shifts, and I lose myself in the depth of what we share. It's not just attraction, it's something much deeper. Every time I see you, my thoughts scatter and my emotions take over. It's like you're a force of nature, and I can't resist the pull of everything you make me feel. It's overwhelming, but in the best way possible. You have this way of making me lose myself every time I see you. It's not just the way you look, it's the way you make me feel. There's a magnetism about you that I can't escape, and honestly, I don't want to. Every time I see you, I'm reminded of how deeply you affect me. Your presence is enough to make my world stand still, and in that moment, I forget everything except for the way you make me feel. Every time I see you, it's like I'm stepping into another world, one where everything's more vivid, more intense, and more real. My emotions take over, and I lose myself in the magic you bring into my life.